My name is James Landry Hebert, and I'm playing Webb.
I'm Beth Broderick, I play Dot.
Skyy Moore, and I play James.
I don't know if you guys saw the Variety review.
Oh, yes we did.
It.
I've been up all night because I couldn't sleep after reading it.
Yeah, it was really good. What they say, there's not a bum performance in the bunch, and for Variety, that's really good.
And can you believe they found all these actors here in Texas except for me?
Good job, guys.
I mean, Beth obviously has been in LA for many years, but lives here now. And Austin, just character in the film, we were saying earlier.
Yeah. So how'd you guys get involved?
They contacted my agent. They asked me if I could audition. I couldn't because I was shooting another film in Louisiana called To the Student Bodies. And after I finished shooting that, I went back to Dallas. Like a month went by, and then they called me. They still hadn't found a kid, and so I got a chance to audition for it again, and did a call back with Beth here and checked our chemistry out, and I got the part.
I loved him. Trust me, we've done a few other boys.
Yeah.
He walked in, I was like, thank you, God.
Yeah, we were all cast, and I think James was the last one to be cast, and thank God they found him.
So were you cast in LA?
I was. Pat Cassidy, the producer, is my oldest friend in the movie business. We went to college together, and we've been trying to get together on a movie for many years. Weren't able to until now, and when I read this, I was really attracted to James's character. I felt like I could relate to him growing up as an orphan, and his loneliness. Basically, I was like, man, I wish I was younger. I wish I could play James, but God, Webb is spot on, and that would be a lot of fun. And I had just gone through a breakup at the time, and I thought, what a great opportunity to sort of embellish all this stuff with the Amy character and Dwayne, and turn a bad experience into a good experience, and art just met life in ways I never knew possible.
Yeah. Do you have to fly down here, or do you put yourself on tape, or like what?
No, they actually, I've played a lot of Texas hard cases, and after looking at my work and Pat vouching for me, they actually offered me the role. But to be honest with you, I prefer to audition. My day job, I was a casting associate in New Orleans for 4 years before I became a working actor, and it's an extra rehearsal, and I like fighting for those roles. But I am so grateful to have been gifted it as well.
Well, I'm an actor as well, and first of all, I think you're insane that you like to audition.
I think it's my background in casting. You know what I mean? It's nerve-wracking every time, but
I personally do not like to audition.
I don't think anybody
have to mostly anymore,
likes it.
so that's so it works out.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody really likes it, but I think there's a lot more growth in it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Call me crazy. Crazy for casting.
I just liked it. I mean, and I was very attracted to the idea that Dot was not a mom, or some sex-crazed older lady, or that she was just a really full character who happens to be an older woman. You just never see that in film. And I thought this film, the script was very tight, characters were really well developed, and I just had a good feeling about it. And then I met with Alex. We sat down for about an hour, and I was like, this guy is going to be able to shoot this movie.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them you're like, I don't know. But this one I was like, yeah, this guy can do it.
And what about you? Do you like audition?
I used to, but I've done it so much Yeah, I think, no shit, since two-step, I think I've had 30 auditions.
Holy crap.
And I haven't gotten a single gig yet.
Yes.
I feel one coming soon.
31 is right around the corner.
But I'm sure you did great work on all 30 of those auditions, and those casting offices that see that work, they pay residuals. You know what I mean? Like, if you didn't get that one, they might be like, God, he was good.
When you're starting out, you have to. Otherwise, there's no way for them to get to know you.
Yes.
But I can remember one year in LA, I had 9 network tests. Now this is after the lawyers have negotiated the deal and you've signed the contracts and you've gone in front of the entire network and auditioned. Didn't get them. They asked me to test for a 10th show and I said no. And the 11th show they just gave it to me. They were like, she's not coming back, we'll just give it to her. I was like, and if that show ran, it was called Hearts of Fire, and ran for a couple of years.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, no. 9 is my limit.
Well, 11's my lucky number. It probably should be yours too.
Now, you were in LA for a while. Why did you move down here?
You know, I just really was tired of living in LA. I've only ever lived in LA and New York, and as an adult, you know. And I write. Also, I do a lot of political writing on the Huffington Post, and so I was very interested in what's happening politically on the ground in Texas and the kind of seismic shifts that are taking place here. And I also really just like the town.
It's a good town.
It's a great town. I'm really happy living here. I go to D.C., New York, Chicago, and L.A. It's 2.5 hours to everywhere from here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's much easier for me to travel, do the kind of traveling that I always do from here than it was from L.A. And I still have a place in L.A. I have a car there. So I can get on a plane with a purse and just go if I need to. But I just... my shoulders go down when I get off the plane. When I get here, it feels like home to me. And I've been on my own since I was 16, so that's a big thing for me to say.
Wow.
Because I have never really felt home.
Where are you originally from?
I grew up in Huntington Beach, California.
Okay.
You know, in that sense, I think we share something very similar, and I almost feel like this business is kind of conducive to that. You know, these like set families and.
Well, unless you're born into it, you have to be pretty damaged to endure it.
Yeah.
And I mean that's really true. And you have all these families that you join, whether it's a television series or a movie, that do become sort of your surrogate family in a way. But to endure all the rejection, to endure all the scrutiny, to endure all the lonely months in hotel rooms away from everyone, you have to have a certain kind of person. You have to be a certain kind of person. And I think you scratch any of us and you're going to go, wow, that was some childhood there. Because the you know, if you're a happy, well-adjusted person, you're not going to make it as an actor.
Yeah, right. But, you know, I think for me,
why would you? It's too painful.
Yeah. Let me gather my thoughts for a for me, I just think it was, in relating to James as a young man, I think with nothing to lose, I was sort of able to follow my dreams. And then once I was on that path, it was like, well, I mean, my family was like horrified. You know, my extended family, the village that raised me, and they were just like, you need to be like a dentist or a doctor or something like concrete. You've had, you know, so much already. You need some security. And for me, it was a great opportunity to come to terms with all that stuff. And now that I'm here, it's like, I don't really have anybody to fall back on. It's like I got to do it. You know, you just got to.
I was the same way.
Bootstraps, and you got to do it.
I had to put my sister through college, and I was like, I walked into those audition rooms when I was, you know, in my 20s, and I was like, I would look at those girls and be like, she's toast, fuck them. You know, I was literally, you know, I would, and I used to, you know, I would always sit like if like the chairs were like this. I would sit here.
Wow.
Nice.
And all the actresses would come in and go, fuck, she's sitting there. Yeah. It worked every time.
Nice.
That is a good strategy.
That's a good tip, especially
Yeah,
on the network test.
Oh.
When you're waiting and the whole network is going to come
Exudes
by
confidence.
you.
Yeah.
You sit the highest
Ooh,
in the room.
good tip.
That is a fantastic tip. You just exude confidence.
How interesting.
Yeah.
It totally works. It's such that the network president's gonna walk by and they're gonna be like, oh,
You're kind of not slouched in the couch or just kind of
no,
waiting.
you sit up on the highest part of the furniture.
That is an excellent tip.
Yeah.
Let them know that it's your time they're taking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tip from mommy.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
I got a lot of series that way.
I always,
Well, from your mouth to God's ears.
when I'm auditioning, I always make it a point to get there as late as I possibly can and to leave as soon as I possibly can.
See,
I get in, I do my thing, and I get out.
I'm the opposite actually, and people are kind of taken back by it. But we'll be all at a callback for the same role, and I'll see actors that I know that are reading for. We all go out for the same stuff, and I'll get done with my audition and I'll be like, you want to, run lines before you go in there? So-and-so is sitting here. They're really cool. Or, I actually try to help. I almost give these roles away in a way, in a sense. And people are kind of like, really?
Well,
I had an audition a couple of weeks ago and we end up the casting director and I just end up talking for like half an hour, and he was like, oh, maybe we should do the audition, huh? I'm like, yeah, let's do the audition. And I was like, Heath Freeman, he would actually be perfect for this role. Like, I'm basically doing my best Heath Freeman, but he's like, did you just recommend somebody for your role?
I used to do that all the time.
It's insane.
It's smart. Then they know who you are.
Yeah,
Those guys, you're going to go. I've been.
when a role's yours.
That
and when
group
it's
in that
not.
hallway when I was in 28, it's the same people. I'm 55. The same women are in that hallway, and we have watched each other's children grow up, and we have, and now it's like, I go to an audition, and it's like, we're so happy to see each other. It's like you go through this whole world together.
And that energy probably makes your experience so much better.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And the ones that really couldn't be, they didn't survive. The ones that were like, that were holding on that tight, they didn't survive. It's a long road.
That's exactly why when somebody books something I read for, I'm happy for them, because when I get the role, I want them to support me as well. I don't want a bunch of everybody who's my type, like that motherfucker.
And there's people that you're really happy to lose to, and then there's a few people that I'm like, you can't be serious.
I know. Yeah. Sometimes I'll see it.
Every time I get a job, I always think there's X amount of actors who didn't get it, and that's a hit to them. It means that that's a paycheck they didn't get. That's possibly rent they can't pay.
We're all in this together. Really.
True. Yeah.